Okay, now that we've gotten the hang of building and programming the smaller regular Clawbot, now it's time to move on to the Super Clawbot. Some of you are there. It's a little bigger, a little more complex design. We're just going to get into the functionality of getting this robot moving, and then we'll work on the sensors in a later video. So, just like we did before, we need to go open up our RobotC, and if you still have your Clawbot program saved from before, it's good because we just need to make a few modifications here. The first that we need to do is the difference is we only had a left-right drive motor, claw, and an arm. We're going to go to our motors and sensors and change that. We'll leave our left and right drive motors on their respective ports that they are, but according to the Super Clawbot manual, the ports that everything else is wired, we have our claw motor on port 2. So let's go ahead and change that. Let's look at the settings. It's a should be a 393 motor, and it's reversed. So let's go ahead and put that on port 2. So that a 393 motor because that's all we have now, and reverse that. Put no motor here. Our arm motor, we don't have an arm, we have a wrist, elbow, and shoulder. So let's go ahead and it says to put them on. The wrist on 3, elbow on 4, and shoulder on 5. So let's call this our wrist, elbow, shoulder. Change all of these to 393s as well. No motor anywhere else. So now we have our left and right drive motors, our claw, wrist, elbow, and shoulder. So now we hit apply, and we come back to our program. We just need to make again some modifications here. As you remember before, our drive is left drive is by our channel 3 joystick on the left side. Our right motor is controlled by our channel 2 joystick on the right side. Notice here everything, I didn't explain it before, but everything is placed into a while loop. This forever loop. This is while 1 equals 1. This is 1 is always going to equal 1, and it's always going to be true. It's going to go on and on forever. So we want our robot to go on until we decide to turn it off and stop it. Again, we see our green comments used to help us out. This is raise or lower or do not move your arm. But here we have the arm motor. We don't have an arm motor. So we can change arm here to shoulder. In our comments. And we just simply called it shoulder here, so let's go ahead and change that to shoulder. Change all our arm motor. If we double click on it, it'll be there. It makes it easier for us. So everywhere we see arm, we're going to type in the word shoulder, just so we don't get confused in our comments either. A couple more. Arm. Change that to shoulder. Change our arm over here to shoulder. And now we have our shoulder working. Now we need to do the same for our claw, wrist, and elbow. Now we have claw motor up here. Can't remember if we called it claw motor or we just called it claw. So we can go back to the top, see our pragma statements. We have a left motor, claw motor, wrist, elbow, shoulder. So we still have a claw motor, so we don't need to change anything to get our claw motor to work. It doesn't matter that we change the ports because it's still looking for the claw motor. So it's not looking for, so it'll know to look for the claw motor, not port number. So whatever port that's on, it'll go to, and everything will be fine there. So, but now we want to do the elbow and the wrist. which are very similar to our shoulder. So if we go, that's why I like using sample programs. You just edit things and then just copy and paste things and just edit it to the way you like. So if I highlight this, do Control C to copy it, make some spaces down. Oh, I had to undo because I accidentally erased it. Control C. Now if I just make a little space, I can put this new code right in there. So now I have two shoulders. So what I want to do is edit the second shoulder and make that say my elbow. So everywhere I see shoulder now, I'm going to change the elbow. And whatever port my elbow is on, these commands will work. I have to change the button as well. So if 5 on my top left is my shoulder and 6 on my top right is my claw, then these have to be 7 and 8, the buttons. So I'll change these elbow after I finish all the elbow. So I don't confuse myself. Change everything to elbow. Now I'm going to change this to button 7. These are the little buttons on your front of your joystick. Change this so that they have up, down, left, and right. And change this to button 7. And this also button 7. I left it at button 5. Every time I hit button 5 to remove my shoulder, my elbow would move it also. So I have to make sure I change these to 7s. Make sure so I don't confuse myself again. Change my comments. So when I want to comments are helpful because if you ever want to come back and edit your program some more, they're there to help you and guide you so you know which section you're working with. Now I still have it program copied from before, so I'm going to paste it one more time because I have now, if you look, I have my shoulder, my elbow, and my claw, but I do not have my wrist. So I'm going to paste it one more time. And I want to, instead of changing it to shoulder, I'm going to change this everything now. Oh, almost changed the wrong one. Shoulder, elbow. This one is say wrist. Change everything to wrist now. Two more. Now I have, while going on forever, while it's true, I'll have left and right motors being controlled by my left and right joystick, my shoulder being controlled by my button 5, my elbow being controlled by button 7, my wrist being controlled up. I didn't change that. That needs to be button 8. These need to be button 8 because my claw is still button 6. So that's button 6. Button 6 is my claw. Button 8 is my wrist, button 7 is my elbow, and button 5 is my shoulder. Alright, again, you want to compile and download your program, compile no errors, download it using the orange cable, and that is the end of your Super Clawbot program.